no one heard the first drumbeat. That was the strangest part. In a kingdom where even ants seemed to understand rhythm, where drums announced birth, death, war, and harvest, the drum that summoned the dead made no sound at all. Yet every elder woke up at the same time. Every fire in the village flickered once and leaned east. And somewhere beneath the soil of Umueke Kingdom, bones that had rested for decades remembered their names. Open quote, "Some stories are not told to entertain you," the voice whispered, low and deliberate. "They are told to warn you. This was one of them." Close quote. The warning that was ignored. Elder Nwori was the first to speak. At dawn, he stood in the village square, leaning heavily on a staff older than his lineage. His eyes were clouded, not with age, but with terror. "It is time again," he said. The villagers froze. No one asked what time. They already knew. Every 40 years, when the moon bled into the earth and the ancestors grew tired of silence, the dead returned. Not to haunt, not to kill, but to choose. They called it the night of counting, the night when the living surrendered their voices and the dead decided who would rule them. Most people believed it was a myth. That was how the ancestors preferred it. The kingdom on the edge. Umueke had no king. The last one, King Adama IV, had died suddenly, eyes wide open, mouth frozen in a scream no one heard. The palace claimed illness, the soil whispered otherwise. 3 princes had stepped forward, 3 powerful men, 3 dangerous ambitions. Prince Obia Julu, the warrior, loved by soldiers, feared by enemies. Prince Emeka, the priest, silver-tongued, spiritually gifted, secretly cruel. Prince Chukwudi, the traitor, wealthy, generous, smiling too often. The Council of Elders argued, the people waited, but the ancestors were done waiting. Let the dead arrive. At sunset, the wind stopped. Birds dropped from the sky, not dead, just silent. Then the ground breathed. Graves cracked open softly, respectfully, like doors opened by guests who had been invited long ago. They came without decay, ancestors wearing the faces they had died with, farmers, queens, hunters, mothers. Their feet did not touch the earth, yet that the dust moved for them. No one screamed. Fear had swallowed sound itself. Open quote. In WhisperTales, the voice murmured, "The dead don't rush. They know time belongs to them." Close quote. The election of souls. In the village square, calabash bowls were placed in a line, one for each candidate. The ancestors queued like voters. No noise, no arguments. Each spirit dropped a glowing symbol into a bowl. At first, it seemed balanced. Then the wind shifted. One by one, the symbols dissolved. Crack. The bowls shattered. All 3. The ancestors stopped moving. The spirit at the front, a woman with no eyes and a crown of bones, raised her head. "The living have failed," she said. Her voice came from everywhere and nowhere. "The blood of kings has become polluted with hunger." The princes fell to their knees. Then came the declaration that would break history. Open quote. "The next king must die before he can rule." Close quote. Chesh, the chosen one. The ancestors turned, not toward the princes, toward a man standing at the edge of the crowd. A nobody. Okori, a palace record keeper. A man who wrote names, never expecting his own to be remembered. Okori shook his head violently. "No," he whispered. "I don't want it." The ancestors leaned closer. "You are the only one who never wanted power," they replied. "That is why you will carry it." By dawn, Okori was crowned. By nightfall, he was dead. The king who ruled from the grave, they buried him with full rights. The crown was placed on his chest. The earth closed. Then the voice came from beneath the soil. "Raise the tax on greed," it said. "Free the prisoners jailed unjustly. Burn the shrine built with stolen blood." The commands were correct, terrifyingly correct. The kingdom obeyed and prospered. Crops flourished, crime vanished. Lies were punished before they were spoken, but at a cost. Each decree took something. A child went blind. A river dried briefly. A mother forgot her son's face. Balance was being paid. The truth revealed. Elder Nwori returned to the grave at midnight. "Why?" he asked the soil. "Why rule us this way?" The voice softened. "Because the living no longer listen," it said. "They only obey when consequences speak." Then came the final warning. "When the dead finish correcting the living, they will stop choosing kings." Nwori understood. The next rulers would not be humans, the ending that lingers. On the 40th night, the voice stopped. The grave went silent. The throne room felt empty, but power remained. Waiting. Open quote. "This is WhisperTales," the voice concluded softly. where power has a price and silence is never empty. Remember this story because some elections are not meant for the living.